It's a beautiful thing to come together in this moment, in this sacred space, and speak gently to the heart. If there has ever been confusion or fear around money, around abundance, around feeling safe and supported in the world, let this moment be the beginning of healing. There is no shame in having struggled. There is no guilt in wanting more. There is only truth, and that truth is this: you are meant to live a life of peace, prosperity, and spiritual richness. Wealth is not something reserved for a select few. It is the natural rhythm of the universe. It is the song of life itself, always trying to flow through you. When the world tells stories of success, it often focuses only on the outside, but the soul knows that everything begins inside. Every wealthy soul carries a secret, not hidden to keep others out, but tucked gently within, waiting to be remembered. The secret is this: true wealth begins with thought, with feeling, with vibration. It begins in the way you speak to yourself, the way you honor your journey, the way you open to receive. There is no begging in the spirit of abundance. There is no struggle when we are aligned. There is only flow, like water moving across the earth, gently shaping everything in its path. Sometimes life teaches through contrast. Moments of lack are not punishments. They are invitations to look within and ask, what am I ready to believe now? We are never denied wealth. We are only being asked to come into alignment with it. Wealth is not out there somewhere, in the hands of someone else. It is within, waiting for the gate to be opened, and you are the only one who holds that key. In the deepest parts of the soul, wealth is not just coins or numbers. It is a warm home. It is food on the table. It is the joy of giving freely. It is the peace of knowing the bills are paid and the future is bright. It is the power to create beauty, to uplift others, to walk with dignity. This kind of wealth cannot be faked or forced. It grows in the soil of self-love, watered by thoughts of trust, tended to by belief in one's worth. You don't chase it, you become it. Every plant grows toward the light, and so do we. In your mind right now, there is already a garden of ideas, some strong, some still small and tender. Some of these ideas were planted long ago, perhaps by a parent's fears, by society's messages, by experiences of hardship. But you are the gardener now, and you have the power to choose which thoughts grow and which ones are gently laid to rest. When you tend to the thoughts that bring life, joy, and openness, you are aligning with the spiritual secret behind all wealth, the energy of wholeness, the energy of I am enough, the energy of I deserve to receive. This is not about doing more. It is about being more present, more kind to yourself, more aware of the words you speak inside your head. Are those words building a home for abundance, or are they closing the door? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. Willing to believe that something good is on its way. Willing to say, yes, I am ready. Willing to receive. Let this be a soft opening. Let this be a moment where you tell yourself the truth. I was born for a life of peace and joy. I am allowed to prosper. I am allowed to feel supported. I am allowed to receive with ease and without guilt. These are not just nice ideas. These are spiritual facts. And when spoken with love, they begin to take root. So many carry a definition of wealth that is too small. But wealth is not a number in a bank account. It is not about fame or luxury or being better than someone else. Wealth is a state of peace within. It is walking through life, knowing that everything you need flows to you with grace, that you are not here to suffer, that your value was never in question. It is a deep breath on a quiet morning, knowing you are safe and guided. You don't have to chase what is already yours by divine right. You only have to align with it, and alignment begins with clarity. What is wealth to you? Not what others say, not what the world tries to sell. but what feels true. For one soul, it may be simplicity. For another, it may be expansion. But at the core of all true wealth is the feeling of wholeness, the feeling that you are not missing anything, that the universe supports you, that life is trustworthy. Every wealthy soul you admire once stood where you stand. They once had to choose a new belief, a new thought, a new way of relating to the flow of life. They had to say yes to something unseen, to trust something deeper than circumstances. That same power is in you now, and it will rise as you speak kindly to yourself, as you forgive the past, as you allow the future to be something beautiful. The way we speak to ourselves is the doorway. It is through this doorway that either fear or love walks in. If the voice inside says, "I can't," then wealth will hesitate. But if the voice says, "I am open," the universe will rush in with new ideas, new support, new timing. That's the spiritual secret behind every wealthy soul. They speak to themselves with care. They believe in their right to receive. You don't need to force this change. It happens naturally, like the blooming of a flower. Just a little more light each day, a little more love, a little more space to receive. It's safe now. You can begin. Speak to yourself gently. I am ready. I am worthy. I welcome abundance in every form that blesses me and those I love. Let that be the beginning. Let that be enough for today. Wealth begins in the thoughts we think. It is shaped by the feelings we feel. It is built upon the beliefs we carry about what is possible for us. And when those thoughts are loving, when those beliefs are open, when those feelings are trusting, then the door to abundance swings wide open. The universe does not hold back. It simply responds to the vibration we offer. So offer love, offer trust, offer joy, even if only in small ways at first. These are the seeds, and from them the garden will grow. The heart knows the truth. It has always known, and the truth is, wealth is natural, it is safe, it is spiritual, and it is yours, not through force, not through fear, but through love, through trust, through the quiet power of saying yes to life. Each day is an invitation to believe again, to receive again, to open again. Let that be your practice, not to chase, not to strive, but to allow. Wealth comes to the soul that makes peace with itself, and today, that soul is you. Wealth is more than something we earn. It is something we live from. It is something we reflect, and it all begins in the mind. A wealthy soul thinks thoughts of love. A wealthy soul sees life as generous. A wealthy soul believes in their own value, even when the outer world has yet to catch up. This is not pretending. This is choosing. Choosing to place your attention on what nourishes, what uplifts, what opens. So much of what we have been taught about money focuses only on action. But action without alignment leads to burnout, to disappointment, to circles of frustration. It is the inner world that matters most. Thoughts create our path. Beliefs set the tone. The way we feel inside creates the invitation for the outer world to respond. Every thought is a seed. Some grow quickly, others take time, but all are growing something. What are your thoughts growing right now? Are they growing peace? Are they growing freedom? Are they growing love and confidence in your future? If not, that's okay. You can choose again. You can pause. You can say softly to yourself, "It's safe for me to think differently now." The beauty of thought is that it is completely yours. No one can take it from you. And when you choose loving, supportive thoughts, the whole energy of your life begins to shift. Doors open, ideas flow, people arrive, circumstances change. It may not happen overnight, but it always happens, because your thoughts are like magnets. They attract what matches their tone. You are not broken. You do not need fixing. You simply need to remember who you are, a radiant, powerful spiritual being with the ability to think, to feel, to create. There is no mistake in you. There is only unfolding, and now you are unfolding into abundance. Let yourself think kindly. Let yourself think expansively. Let yourself believe that the universe is not holding anything back. It is responding to you. And when your thoughts are in harmony with love, with worthiness, with possibility, then everything begins to move, not through pressure, but through presence. This is your time. This is your invitation to begin again, not from lack, but from love. To think the thoughts that a wealthy soul thinks. I am supported. I am guided. I am open to the highest good. And I trust the process of life. Let those thoughts carry you forward. Let them shape your days. Let them open the way for everything you've ever hoped for to flow in, softly, gently, completely. Because the truth is, it was never about chasing wealth. It was always about remembering that you are already enough to receive it. There is something deeply loving and transformational that happens when we begin to speak new words into our lives. These words are not just sounds or sentences. They are carriers of energy. They speak to the subconscious, to the heart, to the body. They awaken parts of us that have been quiet for too long. This is why affirmations are such a powerful tool on the journey to wealth. Not the shallow kind that fades, but the lasting, soul-deep kind that brings peace and stability. Affirmations help create new grooves in the mind. Where there once were thoughts of fear or doubt, now there can be thoughts of openness and ease. When spoken with sincerity and care, affirmations begin to melt away the blocks that have stood between us and our natural prosperity. It isn't about saying things you don't believe just to feel better. It's about gently creating space for a new belief to grow. You might begin with a simple phrase like, I am willing to receive. It's soft. It's not a demand. It's not filled with pressure. It's simply a gentle whisper to the universe that you are available to be supported. And if that feels too big, then even something as small as, I am learning to welcome abundance can start the shift. These are seeds of change. The key is consistency. Just as you wouldn't water a plant once and expect it to thrive, affirmations must be nurtured daily. Speak them in the mirror. Say them before bed. Whisper them while making tea or walking in nature. Let them become part of your rhythm, because as they move through your voice and your body, they begin to change the way you feel about life and the way life responds to you. Many have been taught that asking for more is selfish, that wanting financial ease means becoming greedy or ungrateful. But the soul knows better. The soul understands that abundance is our natural state. When we are prosperous, we can give freely. We can rest deeply. We can create with joy. There is no nobility in lack. There is no shame in thriving. When you affirm your right to be abundant, you are also affirming your ability to be a source of light for others. Try this. Close your eyes for a moment and speak softly within. I am open to receive all that supports my highest good. Say it slowly. Feel the energy shift. If resistance arises, that's okay. Resistance is just an old voice echoing from the past. You don't need to fight it. You just need to speak kindly over it, again and again, until the new voice becomes louder. Affirmations like, money comes to me easily and joyfully, or my income expands as I express my gifts, are not just wishful thoughts. They are invitations to the universe to match your vibration. The more love you infuse into these words, the more powerful they become, not because the words themselves are magic, but because you are. Your belief is the power. Your willingness is the portal. When you begin to speak this way to yourself, you will notice subtle shifts. Perhaps a new idea will land in your heart. Perhaps a helpful person will arrive. Perhaps an old fear will fall away without a struggle. This is how the universe responds, not with thunder, but with grace, with quiet, steady openings, with the soft rearranging of things behind the scenes. You don't need to know how it will all come together. You just need to keep speaking in the direction of love. Keep affirming your truth. Keep choosing words that nourish your becoming. Every wealthy soul has done this. They have used their voice to shape their world, to shift their inner landscape, to rise into the life that was always waiting for them. And now, so can you. As you continue to grow in this journey, one of the tender places you may meet is the fear of receiving. For many, this fear is hidden, wrapped in layers of logic or protection. But underneath it is often a soft and vulnerable truth. Somewhere along the way, it felt unsafe to receive. Perhaps giving became easier than receiving. Perhaps self-worth got tangled in old stories. Perhaps love was once offered with conditions, and the heart learned to close. But the time has come for healing. It is safe now. You are not who you once were. You are wiser, more awake, more loving with yourself. And that means it is time to welcome in the good without guilt, without fear, without second-guessing your worth. The fear of receiving often shows up quietly. It may look like deflecting compliments. It may feel like discomfort when help is offered. It may sound like an inner voice that says, "This is too much," or "I'm not ready yet." These are not flaws. They are echoes. Echoes of a time when the soul didn't know how loved it was. But now that soul is remembering. You can begin healing this fear by simply noticing it without judgment. When you catch yourself resisting joy, pause. Place a hand over your heart. Breathe deeply. Say, "It is safe for me to receive." These words soothe the nervous system. They send a message to every part of your being that it is now okay to let life in. Journaling can be a loving practice here. Gently write down the moments when receiving felt hard. Then write down the kind of receiving your heart longs for, the kind that feels gentle, free, and safe. This helps clarify what is being healed and what you are now ready to invite. You might say to yourself, "I allow good to come into my life. I do not need to earn it. I do not need to prove myself. I am already enough." These affirmations are not selfish. They are healing. They are the soul's way of stretching, of expanding into a new level of openness. It may feel unfamiliar at first. That's natural. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It simply means new. And new things always begin tenderly. Over time, as you continue to affirm your right to receive, the body begins to soften, the heart begins to open, and life begins to pour in. You are not alone in this. Every soul that has stepped into true abundance has had to meet this place within themselves. They have had to sit with the discomfort of expansion, the vulnerability of openness, the gentle trembling that comes with being truly seen and supported. And they have learned, just as you will, that it is worth it. The universe is always offering. It never holds back. But it respects your readiness. When you signal that readiness through your thoughts, your affirmations, your willingness to feel and heal, the universe responds in kind, not with punishment, but with patience, not with demands, but with invitations. Receiving is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. It is saying, "I trust life. I trust myself. I trust that I am safe in this world." That is powerful. That is magnetic. That is the true posture of abundance. Let your hands be open. Let your heart be soft. Let your soul whisper, "I am ready," because you are, and you are so deeply supported. There is a flow that runs through all of life, a quiet intelligence that guides the tides, that turns seasons, that carries birds across continents without a map. This flow is always moving, always offering, always creating. And when you begin to align with it, something miraculous happens. Life begins to feel easier. There is less resistance, more grace, more joy. This is the natural rhythm of wealth, not the frantic chasing or constant proving, but the steady, loving current of giving and receiving. Just as you breathe in and out, so too does the energy of money, of opportunity, of support move through your life. When you block the flow by clinging or fearing or doubting, things begin to feel stuck. But when you trust the rhythm, when you relax and allow, you begin to experience the richness that was always available to you. This is not about passivity. It's not about waiting without action. It's about aligning your inner state so that every action comes from peace, not panic, from inspiration, not obligation. You become like a leaf on the river, still moving, still alive, but carried by something greater than yourself. Daily practices help you stay in this flow. Gratitude is one of the most powerful, not just listing what you're thankful for, but really feeling it, savoring it, letting the warmth of appreciation fill your body. Gratitude turns your attention toward what is already working, already flowing, already supporting you. And what you appreciate appreciates. Another practice is presence, being here now, not lost in the fears of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow, but fully rooted in this moment, where life is actually happening. In this moment, you are safe. In this moment, you are supported. In this moment, you can breathe and choose again. Kindness is part of the flow. Every act of kindness is a ripple that comes back to you, not always in the same form, but always in a way that uplifts. Generosity opens the heart, and the open heart receives more easily. It is not about giving to get. It is about trusting that in a world of energy, everything returns in the perfect way. When you live in the flow, you no longer need to force outcomes. You learn to listen. You learn to respond. You learn to move with life, not against it. And this creates a beautiful sense of harmony, internally and externally. Wealth is not separate from this flow. It is a part of it. It is one of the many ways life supports and celebrates you. When you see wealth as a current, you no longer fear its absence. You trust its return. You allow its movement. You bless it as it comes and bless it as it goes, knowing it is never lost, only circulating. Let your life be a reflection of this rhythm. Let your thoughts flow gently. Let your words flow with kindness. Let your heart flow with trust. And watch how the energy of abundance meets you in the most unexpected and beautiful ways, because it will, and it already is. Each moment we are given is a chance to renew our trust in life, a chance to believe that we are not forgotten, not abandoned, but deeply cared for by a loving, intelligent universe that wants to support our highest good. Sometimes that support doesn't arrive in the way we expect. Sometimes the timing seems delayed. But from the spiritual view, everything is always unfolding in divine order. There are no mistakes in timing, only lessons in patience and faith. When things don't come quickly, the mind may want to panic. It may whisper that something is wrong, that you must be doing something incorrectly. But the soul knows better. The soul understands that when the roots are growing deeper, the flower cannot yet be seen. Still, growth is happening. Still, life is working for you. Trust is a spiritual practice. It is not blind hope. It is an inner choice to believe in something greater, even when the outer world has yet to catch up. Trust says, I may not see it yet, but I know it's on the way. Trust opens the heart. Trust allows us to rest while things come together. The beautiful thing is, you don't have to trust perfectly. You only need to return to trust gently, again and again. Each time you choose trust over fear, your energy softens, your body relaxes, your spirit shines more brightly, and in that softened state, you become magnetic to all that is meant for you. Affirmations help keep trust alive. You might say softly, "Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time and way," or "Life is on my side, always working things out for me." These words are not about forcing belief. They are about gently leading the heart back to its natural state, one of peace, openness, and knowing. Let yourself be supported by life. Let yourself be held in the loving arms of the universe. You do not have to make it all happen alone. You were never meant to. There are unseen hands guiding you, whispering blessings into every step you take. Even the delays carry wisdom. Even the pauses are full of grace. Trusting divine timing is not about giving up. It's about giving over, handing your burdens to something larger, something wiser, something deeply loving. And when you do, you make space for miracles. You make space for ease. You make space for something even better than you imagined. So breathe deeply, relax your shoulders. Say quietly within, "I trust my life. I trust my journey. I trust that all is well." These words are your bridge back to peace, back to alignment, back to the truth that you are not alone in your dreams. Life is dreaming with you. The path of a wealthy soul is not paved only with grand moments. It is built in the quiet, sacred rituals of each day. Small steps, taken with love and care, become the foundation for a life of richness and fulfillment. There is no single moment that creates abundance. It is the daily return to self-love, the daily choice to believe, the daily decision to align with the energy of wealth. A powerful practice is mirror work. Stand before the mirror, look into your eyes, and say with gentleness, "I am worthy of a life I love. I am open to receive. I support myself with love." At first, this may feel strange or uncomfortable, but over time, these words begin to plant new seeds. They awaken the part of you that remembers the truth. You are enough, just as you are. Gratitude is another daily key. Each morning or evening, pause and write down a few things that have supported you, no matter how small. Gratitude is like sunlight to the seeds of abundance. It amplifies what is good and makes room for more. When you are grateful, you are saying to life, "I see you, I welcome you, I trust you." Visualization can also bring the energy of wealth closer. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living with ease, with joy, with financial freedom, not from a place of longing, but from a place of already having. Feel the emotions that would be present: peace, confidence, generosity. These emotions are the signals that draw your desires toward you. Stillness is often overlooked, but it is essential. In the quiet, you reconnect with your center. You hear the wisdom beneath the noise. You remember that wealth is not about doing more, but about being more present, more aligned, more trusting. Even 5 minutes of silence a day can change everything. Kindness to yourself is a wealth ritual. Speaking gently, resting when needed, forgiving your own learning process. These are not luxuries. They are sacred acts. Each time you treat yourself with love, you affirm your worth. And the universe always mirrors back the energy of worthiness. You don't have to do all of this at once. Begin with what feels possible. Choose one practice and let it become part of your rhythm. Let it become a doorway. Over time, you'll find that these small acts create a strong foundation, and from this foundation, a new life will grow. Each day, ask yourself, how can I align with love today? How can I treat myself like someone who is already abundant? Let those questions guide your choices. Let them soften your path. Because wealth is not just about receiving, it is about becoming someone who knows they are supported, becoming someone who trusts the flow, becoming someone who leads with love. When the soul is ready to reflect abundance, it begins to see life differently. It sees the world not as a place of lack, but as a mirror, always showing us where we are, what we believe, and what we're ready to transform. This is the sacred work of reflection, seeing the outer world as a gentle indicator, not a harsh judge. If wealth seems far away, it does not mean you are failing. It simply means that something within is ready to be seen, ready to be brought into love. The mirror is not cruel, it is kind. It says, "Look here. There is something ready to grow. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are unfolding. Each thought, each belief, each choice sends out a ripple. And that ripple comes back as experience. This is not blame, it is empowerment. If the mirror reflects fear, you can shift to love. If it reflects doubt, you can speak belief. If it reflects resistance, you can soften into trust. Begin by asking yourself gently, what do I believe about receiving? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about my worth? Let the answers arise without judgment. Just observe, just notice, and then, lovingly, choose again. Affirmations can help create a new reflection. Say softly, I reflect wealth in all I do. My outer world mirrors my inner peace. I trust the reflection is changing. These words send a new message into the mirror of life. And as your inner world shifts, so too will the outer. Visualization is helpful here too. Each morning, imagine yourself in a scene that represents your wealth. Not for the sake of control, but for the feeling. Let the image be soft, joyful, true. Let it fill your body with trust. That feeling is the magnet. That feeling is the new reflection. Be gentle with what the mirror shows you. If there are old wounds, speak to them with compassion. If you feel frustration, let it pass like a cloud. There is no need to force change. The mirror responds to your energy. So the more love you bring, the more loving the reflection becomes. Wealth is not a prize to be earned. It is a state of being to be allowed. It reflects the soul that feels safe, valued, and in harmony with life. And as you become that soul, as you think the thoughts and feel the feelings of abundance, the mirror begins to shine back all that you truly are. So let today be a day of loving reflection. Look into your heart and ask, what would a wealthy soul believe right now? And begin to live from that place. That is the key. That is the practice. That is the path. Dear one, there is nothing missing in you. There is only more to be remembered, more to be received, more to be expressed. Wealth is not outside of you. It is within, and it has been waiting for you to say yes. Say yes to your worth. Say yes to your healing. Say yes to the joy of receiving. Let each breath carry you closer to the truth. You are supported. You are loved. You are worthy of a life that reflects the richness of your spirit. You don't need to force or chase. You only need to align, to think with love, to feel with trust, to act with peace. And in that energy, everything will begin to shift. You are the spiritual secret behind your own wealth. You are the light that attracts abundance. You are the love that opens doors. You are the wisdom that creates the path. Let this be the day you claim it, not through loud declarations, but through quiet, steady belief, through small, sacred steps, through the daily return to your truth. Speak this with me softly. I am a wealthy soul. I am open. I am ready. I am grateful. Let that be your song. Let that be your prayer. Let that be your truth. And so it is.